Welcome back everyone to our gameplay series of Farming Simulator 17. So in our last video we got a lot of things really taken care of in our starting area with fields 12, 14, and 15 in the surrounding area. A lot of things are good. The silo, I really like the silo a lot better. It makes the pathing a lot better around it and just makes things a lot easier and gives me fewer headaches and fewer things to worry about, which is part of the end goal that we have in mind. So now we're starting out, as you can see in the top, the bottom left-hand corner, we're starting out around field 28, and you can see that we have a lot of grass that is ready to mow. Let me tell you, it took a long time to get the seeds sown on this field with that tiny seeder that we were working with. Wow, that took a long time, which was expected, and I can't wait till we get to the point in the future where we've got enough money and we're ready to buy some bigger seeders, because it means we're branching out and buying a lot more fields. But for now, we have leased field 28, and it is huge. If we take a look at field management, let's scroll down here to field 28, 4.6 hectares. So that is huge compared to what we've been dealing with. You can see that's bigger than all of this combined, all the three fields that we've been working on, 12, 14, and 15. So we are ready. If I come in under our map, and again, we always have to, for some reason, it does not save these preferences. So if we show the growth, you can see we are fully grown on 14, 15, and 28. And as far as our fertilization, everything is all caught up and awesome. So let's talk a little bit about how we got here. It didn't really take very long. Whenever you are selling silage and getting anywhere close to a decent price for it, and if we scroll across to the prices, yeah, it's been, when I first started out, after we stopped filming, I was down in the 600s, somewhere around 640, 650, but then it got up into the 800s. So we've been getting a pretty good price there, and I can see now the biogas is finally caught up and passed by on the pricing part. So things went very well, and you can get well over $200,000 very quickly just from the three fields that we have going right now. So let's go ahead and get things started back at our home base. Let's see, everything is still loaded here. All right, we're going to have him, okay, good, he's waiting. Okay, this guy is ready for field 14. Let's get him started. Let's get his mowing and unloading ready to go. Let's start him on the first waypoint. He is on the field work, so we're in good shape, I think, overall right there. And of course, he'll take care of everything we need. We don't have to worry about fertilizing right now. So that brings us back to field 28. And as you can see, we've made some purchases. Also, if you look down in the distance there, we're going to head down there in just a moment and take a look at some of the other purchases. But we had to have our mower, no doubt. You can see it's got a little bit of grass inside. And that's where I was fooling around with some things and doing some testing. And I'm really hoping this works out, because we're going to see. We're going to see. I know the main grass mowing should not be a problem. All right, that was the easy part. But taking the grass to the silo, yeah, that could be a little bit interesting. I've chosen an area for the silo, and I'm hoping it works out. But honestly, what I'm really thinking about doing long term is taking part of this field, turning it back, sort of reclaiming the land. I believe you got some rollers that we can purchase to do that very thing. Purchasing part of this area right over here and taking it from a field, reclaiming that land and using it for some of the storage and silo and that kind of thing that we might need going forward. I'm really thinking seriously about doing that, because I'm not sure how this is going to work with what we have set up for the current silo. But we'll take a look at that here momentarily. All right, let's try to get this guy loaded up. Let's get him started. Okay, the equipment we're using here, 50,000 liter capacity for grass, and then of course our Krone mower. So it's going to be interesting to see how all this works once this guy gets filled up, and he will get filled up quite a bit. Again, it's over 4 acres, and you can see just how many passes back and forth on this field it's going to take. So we're going to have a lot of grass. And of course, long term, what that means is we can support a lot of cows. All right, let's go ahead and turn some things off here. And we're going to hop out because we're over here at the silo location. So as I was looking around and trying to figure out, okay, where do I want to put this thing? It's kind of big. I mean, overall, it's not huge, but it's big enough because we need spots and room on both sides of the silo that you have to pay attention to where you're putting it. You need some flat ground, and you need an area just sort of out of the way. Well, this isn't where I wanted to put it, but it ended up being about the best I could hope for, aside from the location on the field over there that I mentioned earlier. So here's what we end up with. We are going to dump our grass right there, and that's why I'm a little bit concerned, because we've got this huge crone mower that's going to be coming back here behind. It's going to cut through the trees here and come through, dump the grass there, and then whenever it's time to empty the silage and take it up to the cows, I have managed to work this through the beams there so that the output is as close to the center line of this first staging area or storage area as I could get it. So I think we're going to be okay, but again, we'll see. I have my doubts as to how this is going to work out. I have not been able to test it, so that's part of the fun of this. Is I haven't had a chance to test this yet, so we're going to see together how well this works out. But of course, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out exactly perfect on the course play automation, then I can do it as much as I need to get us out of a bind until I can redo the course play maps. All right, so what all have we purchased? Well, we're about to get into the cow business. So we needed a water tank, so we've got that. We also needed, well, I guess it wasn't required, but I wanted to go ahead and get a fertilizer down here to keep us from having to bring the one from the other side of the map. And then I've also purchased a tipper that can be used exclusively to move silage back and forth, although from time to time we might be in the habit. There's our mower. All right, let's get back on board with him. All right, because I want to see how this works out. This may turn out to be a disaster, but I'm hoping not. So again, we got 50,000 liters of grass, and that will support a lot of cows on its own. But of course, we have much bigger plans. I mean, I want to have thousands of cows, and of course, all of the money that that brings. All right, so here he's going to head right through these trees. And now we're going to find out just how good or bad of a job that I've done. So I've got him going really slow on purpose because I do not want him to hit anything. And if he does hit anything, I don't want him to hit it very fast. Okay, so far so good. You can see he's going to head right over the spot. And it's always weird where they choose their tipping point. It's usually right on the edge. But regardless, hey, he's getting there, and that's all I care about. And okay, I'm actually going to hop out here as he's done, and hopefully he should be able to get himself back on the field just fine. But you can see we dumped out 50,000 or right at it, and now this will, because we're running on real time, it won't happen very quickly, but now that will start to slowly convert over to silage, and then when the time is right. Okay, same thing happening over here. You can see there's no silage being converted because we're on real time. Let's make sure. All right, everything seems to be going good there. Let's watch our guy. He's coming back to the location. He needs to spin himself around, and he'll be in good shape to continue on. All right, so let's take a look at our speeds. Here you can see street speed, which is what he's going to use pretty much the entire path that he runs to empty the grass. I've got him at 10 miles an hour. That's about as fast as I really want him to go. For now, we only have one mower on this particular field, and that's simply because it would be a long time before we could even fathom needing multiple mowers on this field. Now, you always want to get things done as quickly as you can, but realistically, we don't have a use to try to get this done any quicker. So far, I am very happy with how things are looking. So let's go ahead, let's hop in our extra tractor, which we originally brought down here to do the sowing. And once again, let's see if I can back up and get anywhere close to where I need to be with this tank. All right, we should be fairly good here. There we go. Then I can show you the last piece of equipment that I was able to buy. Now, anytime, if you've been with me in the real farming or the pure farming series, you know, and I will remind you repeatedly, one of the happiest times in these games for me is when I get to buy stuff. When I get to buy equipment, I'm a happy person, because let's face it, the reason why we earn money in these games is so we can buy stuff. So now we're going to take our water tank, and this is our water drop-off point for the cows, which of course we haven't bought any yet, but this is where we're going to drop off the water. And where we're going to get the water, well, I really didn't know where there was any nearby locations. I'm sure there are some, at least a few nearby somewhere. But to keep us from having to worry about traveling all over the place, I went ahead and put a windmill over here. So this windmill is under placeables, and this is one of the mods that I showed you back at the very beginning. Now, we could have went for the standard water tower that is in the game, but that thing is huge. It takes up a lot of room, so I went with a little bit smaller footprint of this particular windmill. So very happy about that. I like the look of it. It's got that rustic farm feel to it, as well as taking up a much smaller footprint. So let's go ahead and fill this up. I also like I love that you don't have to get terribly close to these things. And I think I've left us enough room to make our way around the corner and then make a complete loop back around, or give ourselves the option to simply make the spin and head back to the water drop off, which is what I'm going to do for now. So you can see we only have 72,000, and the reason I say only 72,000 is because, let's face it, cows are expensive. So let's go ahead and we're going to drop off our tanker right here in the unload zone. And then we're going to head down to the area where we would buy and sell cows. So if we come in here, we can open the dialogue, and you can see cows are $5,000. So that's a huge investment, so we better get some return off of those. Well, the bad news is we don't have a lot of money to spend right now, so we're not going to be able to afford very many at the beginning. However, one of the things I'm going to do, especially now that we have had our initial drop off of the first 50,000 liters of grass, is I want to sort of expedite things. I'm going to turn the time up to 30 times. And you can see we're already starting to convert some of this over to silage, and you can see we're down to 41,000 there. We've got our first load of full load of silage there. Let's actually work our way back over to the other area. Okay, we'll head over and see if this one is doing the same thing. So the main thing with the time is we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. All right, and right now you can see we're over 16,000. Now we're at 20,000, and so on. So that's going to be in and of itself quite a bit of silage. So we're going to let that time go on a little bit more, and you can see it looks like, nope, I thought he was actually full once again. That one's only at 32,000. Nope, this one is full again. I thought that they would probably be a little bit more coordinated with that, but no, they're a little bit off timing, which is no issue at all. You can see in the top right hand corner we've got $6,600 coming back in. Now, I do not have a course play course for the silage right now. I wanted to start off small and make sure this was going to work as a location before I got too in depth with creating courses. But as ugly as this looks, I think it's actually going to work out for us. We'll see how the silage goes, because you can see it's right underneath the edge there, taking up that first storage slot. And it looks like our guy here is making out rather well. Silage production, you can see as we zoom to the other side, we are at basically 50,000 here, and now that we're pouring more grass in there, it'll give him an opportunity to get even more silage. So my plan here is to try to build up some extra. Obviously, we're not going to have enough money for a little bit of time now to have to worry about needing all of this grass and all of this silage that we're going to get. But we're going to try to build up some extra in the silo so that we always have some in there as needed. And that's my plan going forward. As we continue to add more and more cows to the fold, we want to continue to have some extra silage, more than we actually need. Because this field, if I've done some math right, I did some quick math, and I don't know exactly how much silage we're going to need, how much per cow per day. But if I've done my math right, we can support over 2,000 cows from this particular field, and that's just a guess of how much silage they're going to use per day. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and head back over and start buying some of these cows. You can see we've got some money coming in right now from selling of the silage. I mean, that is just a huge income. And even if we didn't do anything else in the game but that, that would be plenty of income if that's what you're looking for. So let's go ahead and see how many we can buy. Again, it's not going to be all that many. All right, so 91.8, that's right at the most we can get. You can see that's going to be 18 cows. So yes, we want to do that. Now, we've got a separate screen here for our cows. And then again, all of this is going to be new to me. What we're going to be dealing with is we have 18 cows. And of course, right now the productivity is 0 because we haven't provided anything. We're going to provide water here momentarily. And then we've got a list of 4 different areas of food. If we come down to the bottom, we'll get roughly 20% productivity if we just give them grass, 50% if we give them silage, which of course is what we're going to do at the beginning to get to that 50%. And then that's going to be subtracted from, assuming we always have water, that's going to be subtracted from based on the cleanliness. And we'll have to deal with that a little bit from time to time. Actually, just saw out of the corner of my eye over there on the screen that we have some cows that are in there. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. Let's actually walk our way rather than tabbing our way through. Let's get them. There we go. So there's our cows. Looks like we got a mixture of types of cows. And we do have animal husbandry in this game. That's something new to me. All right, we've already met the maximum need for water for now. That's going to be for 6 days. So again, we've got way more resources than we need here early on. So for now, I am going to take our water tank back to storage. And let's see, I'm actually going to come in from the back way rather than trying to back it in because of the horrible camera angle. All right, here we go. So my plan is, as we continue to mow grass and as we continue to sell silage, particularly on fields 12, 14, and 15, then my plan is to, every time we get some more money, we buy some more cows. All right, so now we're good there for a little while. I'm going to actually hop over and pick up our wagon here. This is why in the future I will probably not be storing these things underneath here, probably, but simply because I can't get a good angle for my camera. All right, and for now I'm just going to pull in this way since that happens to be where I'm at. I do not like that little rise there. I wish I could do something about that, but I don't think I can. Let's see. Let's go ahead and... All right, we're underneath. We don't want to unload. We don't have anything to load. Let's make sure we have automatic. Nope, we need to swap that over to automatic. And you can see, now the one thing about this particular style of silo is it takes about a half a second to fill you up. So 21,000 happened that quickly. All right, somebody is already done. There he is. Let's go ahead and stop him. And if we pull up, again, you can see we don't have any productivity yet because we've only provided water. Okay, and let's see. So 15, yes, 15 is ready to go. So we're actually going to get him lined up and get him started on 15. And for now, we'll keep the time at 30x. Let's load up 15. There we go. And slow him down a little bit and then have him drive on. It's not my best job of getting him lined up, but I think he's going to be fine. And let's get guys going here with the fertilization. Again, I love the fact that I don't actually have to fill this tank with fertilizer to get this guy going. I'm going to start him off a little bit too far to the right, I think, just so we make sure we get everything. And yeah, he's hitting all the way to the edge of the field. Let's watch this guy, make sure it's going to be a long time before he's done. Let's make sure he gets everything emptied. And you can see we've already got plenty of silage. Yeah, that little bit of a lip there, I would like to be able to get rid of that. And I need to do some more searching because I got a feeling there is a way to do that. So in the future, I'll be able to make that more level to the ground. Not a huge issue, but just something I'd rather not have if we can get by with it. All right, now it's time for silage. So we've got our 21,000 loaded up, and again, this is going to be more than enough for where we are right now. But if you take a look at the top right-hand corner, you can see we're already up over $33,000 worth of silage that we have sold. So I actually have a couple of options of where to drop this off. I could drop it off right over here, or I can do what I will probably do most often, and that is drop it off right here. I'm going to put it, this cow right here looks lonely and hungry, so I'm going to drop it off real close to him this time, because he looks like he's looking for something to eat right now. And now you can see the silage is filling up for all of them, and I would imagine they're all going to head this way very shortly. There we go. So let's see, let me write some numbers down here. So we had 21,000, and I'll do some math a little bit later on, but we had 2,083 silage left. And let's see, how many cows did we have? We have right now, we have 18. Okay, so I'll write these numbers down real quick, and then we'll get back to it. But what that's going to tell me is exactly what I need to know. It's going to tell me how much feed they use, how much they eat per day, per cow, because I know how much I can have maximum of 6 days. And you also noticed in there that cleanliness, it's still at 100% right now, but we'll see how that goes. I'm also kind of wondering about the straw. I mean, if you add these numbers up, that gets you to 100. And so do you only use, in the past, we've used the straw to sort of, we've blown it in there for bedding. And I'm wondering now, do you only use the straw for, as part of the power food? Or is maybe it part of that 5%, the reason why I'm not all the way to 50%, is that part of it? Again, so many questions that I've got right now because things work differently here than they've worked in the past with Farming Sim 15, and I'm really enjoying this. Really enjoying it. There to the right, you can see our mower and If we look at the mini map, he is roughly halfway through the field. So that just goes to show you how much grass we're going to have by the time he is done. Okay, let's actually head down here and park. Let's see, let's go around the back. Woo, late decision. I'm going to park this thing because, again, we have got what we need. Alright, there we go. Let's hop out there, and I'm actually just going to take a walk here in just a moment. I do want to head back over and make sure that we're doing okay. Looks like our silage operation is doing quite well. Got another full load of grass incoming. And that's going to take me exactly where I want to be. Looks like he's about halfway done with field 15. I'm actually going to hop out right here. So I just want to get a quick check to see. It looks like we have no grass currently. That's about to change, obviously. And then here comes our guy right back to pick up some more silage. Let's see how much is waiting on him. Again, you can see just how quick that pour is. That was 8,000 liters in about a half second. So he's got about 9,800 remaining. And of course, that's going to change in the next minute or so. And look at that. Perfect timing. Oops, wrong button there. Fertilization is done. I'm actually going to put him over here out of the way, even though he's going to be here very shortly. He's going to be working on field 15. All right, here's our mower. He's almost done. Looks like he's ready to start. Again, he's about halfway done. He's ready to start a new row. It's funny to me to watch this guy because every once in a while, as he's backing up, it's not happening right now because he's going so slow. But let's speed him up a little bit. Let's make reverse about 6, and let's let him turn at about 10. That'll help him out a little bit, but every once in a while, he will get going, and this trailer will be going all over the place, and he'll just try to catch it. I'm like, yep, I feel your pain on that, because I have been there many times myself in real life, not with that particular setup, but in my truck. Wow, trying to catch a trailer behind. Not fun. All right, so we're up to right at $60,000 right now. And you can see our guy's coming. He needs to unload some more grass. And I would imagine we're at 0 grass here. Yes, we are. How much silage do we have right now? And the goal, of course, is to continue growing this, because I don't think we're going to manage to get completely full at 1,000,000 liters, but I'm hoping by then we'll have enough cows that we won't be able to do that, but you never know. And in fact, if we get to that point, then I will simply stop using the silo for a little bit and start dumping the grass directly in here, and it'll increase our effectiveness a little bit. All right, you can see our cleanliness is going to be going down. Let's see where we are now. We're at 90%, and again, you can see it needs to be cleaned. We can actually do this in a few different ways. What I plan on using for it is the forage wagon. And we'll try to come in here every so often, and we'll clean that up. I'm not terribly worried about it. Not a huge deal for me. Okay, you can see our green bars still right there at the top. It's going to take a while for those to come down. You can also get an idea of how much milk we have in the tank. For right now, liquid manure, I'm not terribly worried about. Same thing with solid manure if we ever got to a high enough productivity level to worry about that. We might deal with those in the future as fertilizer or even to sell it directly, but for now, we're not going to worry about it. Okay, we're up to $73,000. Let's go ahead and buy as many cows as we can afford. There we go. So that'll give us 14 more cows and get us up to 32. And that's my plan going forward, is just every so often, once we've got a little bit of money, I mean, that's what the silage is for that we're selling. That's to get us as many cows as we can handle from this one field, and then we'll branch out from there. So now you can see it's brought these numbers down to about, well, closing in on half, really. And that's simply a matter of the fact that we've added some more cows. So that means we can add more water and more feed. Looks like this guy is almost done. Okay, everything seems to be going great. I mean, this is really nice. I had my concerns, as I mentioned at the beginning, about his pathing to and from that silo, getting around those trees and everything, but so far seems to be so good. Let's actually go and load up some more silage. Now my plan long term is to actually take this the other direction. See, that's where I don't like this. Really don't like that. Alright, so we've already got, see, I didn't even notice it. My camera was at a position where I didn't even notice that we had already gotten our 21,000. So for now, we're going to have this one tractor that we're going to have assigned to do pretty much all the miscellaneous tasks. And for right now, he's going to be doing silage. He'll be doing the fertilization. He'll be doing all of those things for now. All right, let's see how much of this we can get rid of with our additional cows. Okay, a little bit more than I was thinking. So again, I haven't done all the math yet. I just took a guess at how much silage we would need. But yes, that's a lot. I might have to drastically revise my numbers to the downside. But we'll see. We'll come back with that information in the next video. But for now, things are going right according to plan. We're a little over halfway done with field 28. And our message in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen is telling me that we're done on, I believe that's field 15. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, we're done on field 15. Let's actually stop this guy. And we are going to manually drop this off. And we're going to take a look at the map here in a moment and just sort of see where we are. Just get a glimpse at where things are right now for us as we're coming to the end of our video today. Okay, let's go ahead and blank off everything for him because he'll be ready to start with field 12 once again. So let's get him lined up for that. Okay, more income. We're already back up over 21,000, so that just means more cows. Okay, there we go. Let's head to field 15 and get started with our fertilization now. Alright, I'm going to start him over what I believe is way too far to the right, but again, working at a 12-meter width, yeah, that's definitely going to get to the edge of the field. Working with that 12-meter width, he makes short work of all these fields. Now, if we come back over to, let's actually hop out right here. On a field of this size, again, over 4 acres, I have decided to go with a fertilizer that is the next step up. And actually, I believe this is the maximum working width when you're dealing with this type of fertilizer rather than the slurry or the manure. So we're going to be working with this one, which is a 24-meter width. In fact, let's take a look at this one right quick under fertilizer spreaders. So here's the one we're using on fields 12, 14, and 15. It has a 12-meter working width, but the one that I've purchased for field 28 and probably some of the surrounding fields as well is 24-meter working width. So that's going to get us done quicker, and I think is going to help us out quite a bit. Again, the difference between these two models is not anything to do with working width. It is a capacity issue. Capacity is not going to be an issue for us because we're using the AI and they purchase the fertilizer they need as they are actually fertilizing the field. So it's a non-issue for us in our particular thing. Now, if we were going to use coarse play to fertilize these fields, then it would be an issue. We'd have to deal with fertilizing and refilling and all of that. Okay, we're back up over 32,000. We have quite a bit of silage here, 176,000 on silage, and I would imagine the zero over here. Nope, we're still got a little bit left over there, but that will quickly become silage and be added here on this side of the silo. So let's go ahead and take a look at the map. As I mentioned, I need to refill the water. I'll do that as soon as we're done. I'll do that off camera. Okay, let's come back to our map. So if we first take a look at, okay, fertilization is looking great. And of course, as soon as we're done on field 28, I will fertilize that as well. So everything looking good there. As far as growth, field 12 is actually ready to go. Wow. Didn't realize we were going to be quite much there. And I'll do that one off camera as well, because I'm really interested to come back next time and purchase a whole lot of cows. That's our goal moving forward for the foreseeable future. I don't think it's going to take very long, because we're making quite a bit of money per day. And of course, now we're going to have milk to add to that list of income. And we are quickly accumulating quite a bit of cows. So I'm going to get started on field 12 here momentarily. Everything is looking really good. So let's go ahead, hop in with this guy, load up field 12, and unload the grass. Start at the first waypoint. Let's see if I can do a little bit better job of getting him lined up than I've been doing. There we go. That should be a little bit better. All right, excellent. And right on time. Fertilizing is done on field 15. Perfect. Now this is how I like for it to work. When all the timing lines up for you, that's when you know you're having a good day on the farm. So we're going to drop this guy off right over here out of the way. Okay, we're up over $43,000 now. All right, let's actually pop out, because we're going to head over and buy some more cows. That's where we're headed right now. But while we're headed that direction, I might as well grab the water tank and take care of that while I'm in the area. Hopefully I'm somewhat close to where I need to be. There we go. I just need that option to attach to pop up. We don't have to back it up perfectly. All right, so we still got actually right at half of a water tank left. You can see our cleanliness is definitely going to be going down. And again, we'll deal with that. I'm not too terribly worried about it. Okay, the price for silage has come back down some. Now we're back into the 600s. We were well into the 800s. Now we're back down. BGA is looking very nice right now. All right, our animals holding steady at about 45%. But you can see our cleanliness definitely needs to be addressed, which we'll be doing here very shortly. All right, let's hop back in. Now, one thing I don't believe I mentioned the first time that we bought some cows is there are actually, for those of you who might not be familiar, if we go under the Animals tab, there are a couple of trailers that you can use to transport animals. So we could simply go to the location on the map, which I believe, if we pull it up, is actually right in the bottom right-hand corner of the map. There is a location. You can see the cow icon next to field 31. I believe that's Mary's Farm, if I remember correctly. I got some of the things turned off on the map right now. But that's where we could actually go and buy and sell with a trailer. So we could actually go and pick these up ourselves. And it would save us some money because there's always a transport fee to or from if you want to buy or sell cattle. And eventually we're going to get into selling some cattle as well as the milk. So we're going to have a nice income stream coming from the cows. And that's what we're working toward right now, $49,000. Let's go ahead and spend that because that money is obviously burning a hole in our pocket. Let's go ahead and pick up 9 more. Confirm that. And we've got some new deliveries here on the farm. All right, let's actually go back into here. So we're very low on water. Again, we're going to take care of that. Got a little bit of room for silage left, so I am really pleased with where we are. It's been a very productive video. We've gotten a lot done, and of course, the biggest thing is we've had an opportunity to purchase our first cow. So I'm very excited about that and very excited about where we can go in the future, just how many cows we're going to be able to handle here in this area. Even though it's very absurd to think about having thousands of cows in this little bitty area. The way the game works, we should be allowed to get quite a few, unless that is a new limit that I'm not aware of. So we're learning all the way and have a lot of exciting things going on. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more as we continue our gameplay series of Farming Simulator 17.